program.
Okay, so we're going to do 45 minutes on the reformer. Let's start with red, yellow, blue springs.
You're not laughing.
What happened? Red, yellow, blue. Let's start heels. So we're going to do a fast little foot and leg warm-up series. Let's start heels on the foot bar, fist distance between the knees and ankles. And we're going to press, extend out, find your neutral. Once you're there, come in halfway, all the way out. So in halfway, all the way out. Halfway roughly means knees and hips are aligned, all the way out. Stopping and with a nanosecond hold and extension. And extension. Let's do 4. Pressing the back bra line into the carriage. Make sure you're not jammed up in your shoulders. Anchoring the tailbone. Good. This next one, come in halfway, 10 to 12 inch range of motion, slowly pressing through the heels, really localizing the work at that hamstring glute insertion point. 4, 3, 2, let's take it all the way out to close the motion and bring it all the way in. Good. Heels stay on the foot bar, narrow V. And same thing, take it all the way out, make sure your shoulders are nice and wide, back bra line is flat, halfway in, squeeze, take it out. Halfway in, squeeze, lengthen. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and bring it halfway in. 10 to 12 inch range of motion, controlling it from the base of the booty, connecting to the heels. 4, 3, 2. Let's take it all the way out. Squeeze and bring it in. Good wide stance, heels on the foot bar. First, anchor your tailbone. Release the hips so that you come into your natural external rotation. Now narrow in the pelvic floor, hold it there, and take it out and in. Check that your booty is engaged through the whole motion. 4, 'Good. This next one, bring the carriage halfway in, 10 to 12 inch range of motion, out and in. 3, 2, and take it all the way out, hold it, pivot internally rotated, and in and out there. Really notice the difference as you front wrap the hip muscles. 3, 2, bring the carriage halfway in and out there, 12 inch range of motion. Knees squeeze together, keeping the work at that same insertion point, but it's going to feel different with the hips. Make sure you're not imprinting the back or collapsing into your lower back. Press the ribs down. Good. Let's take it all the way out. And now start knee circles. Open, external. Bring the carriage in. Close to take it out. We call them knee circles, but they're actually hip socket circles. So focus on range of motion and staying smooth in that hip socket rotation. Good. And let's take it out, externally rotated, reversing the circles. In to come in, out to go out. Three, two, and one. And let's bring them in. Good. Shake it out. Make sure you're not jammed up in your shoulder blocks. Let's come to the balls of the feet, fist distance between. Lift the heels high, pressing through the big toe. So keep the heels high as you take the carriage out and in. Two more. And let's meet up with the carriage all the way out, slowly lowering and raising the heels. Take your time, keeping the booty engaged the whole time. 3, 2, and 1. Walk it out, prancing. Good, both heels high, and now heel dips with a little tempo. Squeeze your butt, and go down and up, squeeze. Down and up, squeeze. Down and up, squeeze. 2 more. Down and up, squeeze. Down and up, squeeze. And bring it in. Good, stay balls of the feet. Narrow V. Take it out and in, squeezing your heels together. Visualize a piece of paper between your heels that you're holding on to. Keep them squeezed together, keeping the booty engaged all the way as the carriage comes in, all the way as the carriage goes out. 3, 2, pressing that back bra line into the carriage. And last one, take it all the way out and slowly lower and raise, keeping the booty engaged, shoulders soft, neck is long, press into the big toes. 3, 2, and heels are high, prance it out. 2 more each side. Last one, both heels are high, heel dips with that little tempo. Down, up, squeeze, down, up, squeeze. 2 more. Last one, and let's bring it in. Good, shake it out, make sure your shoulders aren't jammed. Wide stance, balls of the feet on the foot bar. Same thing as when we were on our heels. Soften through the hips to find your external rotation, and then narrow in the pelvic floor to hold it in. Narrow and lengthen all the way out, pressing through the big toes. Booty's engaged. 3 more. And let's meet up out there. Single heel prance, 2 pushes, 2 little pushes as you push under the foot bar. Take that extra push for lengthening. Good, both heels high. And let's bring it in. Alrighty. Little rock back and forth. And let's just go into happy baby. Just to lengthen out. Okay, before we do anything else, scoot yourself just a ½ inch away from the shoulder blocks. Legs to 90, squeezing the ankles and knees together. Same thing, think of having that piece of paper between your knees. All right, little tiny lift of the tailbone, imprinting, tiny, tiny lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take hold of your right leg, curl your upper body up, extend the left to 45, drop your chin as if you're holding on to a tennis ball. Keep that scooped hollow belly and switch, and switch. Two more times each side. Beautiful. Legs come back to 90. Hands come back behind the head. Open in the chest and the elbows, but try and peel your shoulder blades off the carriage. And we're going to lower to 45 and come up to 90. Tiny little toe lift. Lower to 45. Tiny little toe lift. Two more. Last one. Good. Tabletop, last thing here. Extend your right leg 45 and arms come to the leg, and we're gonna switch and stag. Peeling your shoulder blades off. Take a peek at your belly that's pressing down. You're trying to scoop your pelvic bone up toward the sky. And let's meet up here in stag. Tuck to lift your pelvic bone toward your chin. Last one. Hold that tuck, switch, and go the other side. If you feel undue stress in your neck, put your head back, or just drop your chin more. And bring it in. Good. Happy baby. And let's go into extended B. Rotate the ankles, circle one way, circle the other way. Okay, let's bring it in. All right, we're gonna change up the springs just by taking the yellow off. Let's come back down. Okay, we're gonna do a little single leg work. So let's take the black loop, put our left foot in. If it feels too much with the red and the blue, take the blue off so you just have the red. But it should be a little hard. You just don't want to start spiraling on your tailbone. So anchor that tailbone, press the back bra line in, and we're going to extend through the left leg. Good. Breathing 4, 3, 2, and keep that left leg straight. Floating up to 90. Make sure you're not pulling from the back of the knee, but that glute hamstring insertion. Three, 2, and let's meet up 45. Last thing here, marching in space. So getting your right leg to extend through, controlling the leg with that cable. Don't let the knee come past the hip so you're not rolling into your lower back. It's a very exact range of motion. 3, 2. All right, and last part here, externally rotate in both legs. Notice the difference or the distance between your heels as you walk through, trying to push through those same lines. Three, 2, last one. And both, bring it in, take the left foot out, go to the right foot. Set up tabletop, square the hips, press the back bra line in, and reach through that right leg. Lengthen through the neck. Notice if your shoulders have uneven pressure against the shoulder blocks. So you're not spiraling into your back, you're not spinning on your tailbone. 2 more. And this one, keep that right leg long, floating up toward 90 and extending through, really reaching through the leg. Make sure you're not pressing through the back of the knee, but you're working from that base of the glute hamstring. Got a next extension at 45. We're going to get our left leg into it, walking in space. Making sure that that knee doesn't come back so far that you rock into your lower back. Check your shoulders. Three, 2, and externally rotate both legs, anchor the tailbone, square the shoulders, and marching through. Make sure you don't have tension in your hands, your jaw. Last 2. And 1. And let's bring it in. Good. Okay, let's take the blue spring off. Come back down. Do a little upper body integration. All right, let's go to loops in our hands. Let's put our headrest down all the way. Legs come tabletop. Make sure your shoulders are not jammed up in the shoulder blocks. Get a little engagement of the springs by pulling the hands directly over the shoulders. Palms are open, and just starting with the arms, sweeping the arms down right next to your hips, floating off the carriage about a half an inch, and float back up. Scooping out the armpit. Two, and let's meet up with our arms down by our side, elbows floating, bend the elbows. Squeeze your elbows against your ribs. As we push into our triceps, we extend through our legs, 45, and your upper body curls up. Think of lengthening through the neck, not crunching. Imprint through the lower back and the belly as you roll up. Squeeze the knees together and the ankles together. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's lift our legs to 90. Float your arms up as your upper body comes down. Lower your legs back to 45 and come in that reverse motion. Arms come down as your legs go to 90. Lift your toes. Open to 45 of the legs and 90 in the arms. Adding the upper body as your arms come down. Curl your upper body up and open. Exhale. No wheelbarrow with the legs, so don't throw them back over your forehead. 2 more. And last one. Float the arms up, the legs come back to 45. Tabletop. Legs come back to tabletop. Keep your arms reaching to the sky. Now open to your T, engage the armpit, scoop out your armpit, wrap the obliques, and close your arms to your hips. Floating back open. Three more. Really find that narrowing, the lifting of the armpit as you press the shoulders down. 2. And last one, as our arms come to our hips, we're going to do circles. So lifting up, don't go past 90, open to a T, scoop it out and close. Shoulders are wide, ribs are down. 2 more. Last one, and let's reverse. Pressing down, opening to the T, keeping that armpit scoop. Let's do 2 more here. And last one, we're going to meet up with our arms down by our hips, palms facing the carriage, floating off, bend through in the elbows once again. Lock those elbows against your ribs, keep them floating above the carriage. And as you press through in tricep this time, we're going to alternate in stag. Come back up. Exhale. Focus on the tricep extension. Let's do 2 more each side. And last one. And let's bring it all in. Good. Loops go back on the pegs. Let's roll to the side to come up. Let's go to a yellow spring. 1 yellow only. We're going to sit on the carriage facing the shoulder blocks. Make sure you have 1 hand width distance behind your booty. Okay. So depending on the length of your cables, but I'm going to go to the inner loop, the small loop. But depending on the length of your cables, you can adjust to find what works right. We're going to go into bicep curl. So we're just going to keep adding on here. So in bicep curl, sitting up nice and tall, ribs are in, sternum is lifted, shoulders down, neck is long, your gaze is straight ahead. Your elbows are at about that 45-degree angle, down a little lower. Check that you're not hiking up in the shoulders, clenching your teeth, holding your breath. Alrighty, this time bicep curl in. Let's roll down the C curve. And coming back up and open. Bicep curl, C curve. And up. Two more, then we'll add on. And this one, let's meet up in that bicep curl, C curve. Let's do 4 bicep curls here, deepening the C curve as you pull your palms towards your shoulders. 2 more. Good, and let's come up and open. Alrighty, so we're gonna go into our shoulder opening. So I'm going to suggest we switch now to the long loops. You'll see why in a second, but we're going to start the same way. Bicep curl in, exhale, come into your C curve. While you are in C curve, I want you to spiral your hands inside, push the fingertips back as you roll forward in that rounded rounded back C curve pull in the belly. Lift your palms as high as you can and then spiral out in the shoulder. If you find that the long loops create too much slack and you want to go back to the short loops, by all means. Exhale, bicep curl, C curve, lock that C curve in, fingers spiral inward to push back as you curl over and around the barrel, lifting the palms and spiral out. Okay. Awkward. I know it is very awkward. It's a great shoulder opener though. It's a great shoulder opener once you get it. We'll just do it one more time. Bicep curl, C curve down, spiral in, push back, lift up, and open up around. Beautiful. All right, let's cross our cables and choke up on our hardware. Sitting up nice and tall. Simple row, meaning really pull from the points of your elbow. Visualize a string on the points of your elbow that engages your lats versus using the forearms or the wrists to pull. Really feel the muscles on your back ribs pull to the midline of the back, lifting in the sternum, ribs are in. 2 more. And last one like this. All right, we're going to slip back to the top of the cloth, the top of the teardrop of the loops, and push fully into French door. Working through the bent elbow, so don't lose that simple row engagement of the lats. And now you engage the back of the shoulder, still pressing the sternum forward. 2 more. And last one. Good. Uncross the cables. Let's go to the big loops. Last thing here, deltoid. Okay. Let's switch to a blue spring for deltoid, just so we actually enjoy the whole movement rather than struggling through hurling. All right. We lift our arms up and back, hinging in the upper body just to support that extension. So don't hinge first and then raise the arms. Start the arms and the shoulders first, and the upper body just gives you that extra extension. Last one here. Good. Rotate your palms facing for the spiral. Pull equally on both arms. Notice if you're leading out with one arm or the other, slow it down so you can really get both arms pulling away from one another equally, and let your gaze drop in line with the spiral. As you spiral, don't unweight the opposite sit bone though. You want to spiral and anchor on that carriage. Good. And just fold forward for a second. Good. And let's come up. Alrighty, let's take our foot bar down all the way. Let's stand a blue spring for our favorite. So weird. I think my internet is really bad. Okay, the balls of the feet are on the platform. Forefinger and thumb are on either side of the shoulder blocks coming into our plank. Find your big toes. Squeeze in the legs, nice and long. Tuck the pelvis. Lift the belly. Close the ribs. Sorry. And we're going to push through the heels of the hands. Take that carriage forward as far as we can. Pull in. Find your plank. Forward as far as you can support. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back into plank and bring the carriage in. Take a little stretch. Alrighty, coming up. All right, let's walk our hands back to the middle of the carriage. Spreading the fingers, I'm gonna rotate out just a scunch, but whatever you find comfortable. I'm gonna come into plank. Find your big toes, lifting with the tailbone and the belly button. Pull into your plank. And take it back up. Make sure you come all the way back into plank as you extend back out. Releasing the back of the neck. Two more. Last one. Good. We're going to pull the carriage back in tabletop. As you extend, take one knee with you. Bring it back. Other knee. Do 2 more times each side. Finding that lift in the belly. Good. Push all the way out to plank and hold it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's bring it in. Good. Let's extend through the arms to take a high hip child's pose extension. Good. Let's go to a yellow and a blue. Now I figured out what's making noise, my box underneath here. Okay, a yellow and a blue spring. Foot bar can stay down or up, doesn't matter. Let's bring our ball if you have your ball. No, let's not bring our ball, actually. Let's just lay down. Let's cross our cables. Cross your cables and then put your feet in both long black straps. Okay, let's push out to parallel. So that same fist distance between your ankles and knees, your headrest can be up or down as you wish. Okay, we're gonna bend in tabletop. Watch everything stays parallel, watch that distance, and push out, pedaling through our feet. So flex in and point out. Good, next one we're gonna add on. So you gotta watch your nose here, right? You're gonna open parallel, so watch that nose doesn't get scissored by your cables. Come back to that same distance and tabletop in. You have to raise your legs a little bit more than 45. Opening and closing, that same point, open, close, trying to find the same place of points in the air where your feet land. 3, 2, and last one. Good. Externally rotate here, and same thing, bending in tabletop and point out. Just start tabletop and extension, tabletop and extension. 3, 2, and 1 adding on. Extend through, open, close, tabletop in. Open, close. 3, 2, and last 1. Good. Reversing it, come back parallel. We're going to tap our ankles open, bend in. Tap closed, open, bend in. Tap. 2 more. And tap. Good. This time open to a wide V, externally rotate. Second position plie, so wide bent knee plie. Extend out, tap closed, open. Plie in, tap closed. Tap. Let's do 3 more. Watching that crisscross of the cables. Phew. And last one. Good. And push it out. Sorry, come back into the center. Let's bend in, uncross your cables, put your feet back in. And take it straight out. So now it should feel weird. Externally rotate, and we start our circles there. Two more. And let's meet up 45 degrees. Externally rotate in Peter Pan. Really driving the work with the bent leg. Pushing in on that midline and back out on that midline. One more time, each side. And stay externally rotated. Legs come up toward 90. And start circles from there. Trying to keep your legs externally rotated through the whole circle to start with. Good, and this time, as you come to 90, come parallel and open into your circle. Staying as parallel as you can through the whole circle. Good, let's meet up our next 45 degrees. Bend in, tabletop. So a variation on what we usually do. Take hold of that left cable. Oh, my box is in the way. Let's do the right side to start, or whichever foot. Find the floor. Find that hip flexor opening on the carriage, and either keep that other leg tabletop or extend diagonally to really open up that hip flexor stretch. Try and flatten through the ribs, flatten through the torso, flatten through the booty. When you're ready, it's that extended leg that frees up the leg with the hip flexor. Oops. Okay, let's come to the other side. Come in tabletop, find the floor, and either hang out there for that hip flexor stretch or extend through the leg diagonally, making sure to press your torso and your bum down into the carriage. Nice heavy torso, dropping that left hip or the hip of the bent leg. and creating slack with the extended leg. Come up, back to 45. Come up to 90, flex through the feet. Really drop the tailbone as if you're trying to arch your back. And then flex through the feet, toes reach toward the forehead. And pulling on the cables, let's just walk on the ceiling, trying to get a little bit more extension through that hamstring, one leg at a time. One more time, each side. And then our feet come together. And open to your extended V. Releasing the weight of the legs. Here again, make sure you're not rolling into your lower back, but your pelvic floor is facing that far wall. Might feel a little bit like you're arching your back because you want a neutral spine. But that'll give you the deeper inner thigh and hip stretch. Nice deep breath in, exhaling, give yourself a little slack. Come into butterfly. Pull your heels toward your pelvis so those cables really support your legs, and just soften through the inner thigh and the hips.